I used to believe that friendship was stronger than blood. I told people I had a brother, even though we didn't share DNA. For 15 years he was my person. The one I called at 2 a.m. drunk and crying. The one who stood next to me at my wedding, grinning like he just won a prize. The one who knew the worst about me and laughed anyway. We met in college. I was shy, awkward, always hiding in the library. He was magnetic, the type of guy who could walk into a room and instantly make 10 friends. Somehow, he picked me out of the crowd. He teased me into joining parties, dragged me out of my shell, taught me how to live louder. I thought he was my salvation. For years, we were inseparable. We traveled together. Shared crappy apartments where the sinks leaked and the walls smelled like smoke. When my father died, he showed up with takeout and sat with me in silence for hours, not saying a word, just being there. That's the kind of friend he was, or at least, that's the kind of friend I thought he was. The cracks were small at first. He'd make jokes at my expense, little digs about my weight, my clothes, my boring taste in music. Everyone laughed, including me, because that's what you do. You laugh it off so you don't look thin-skinned. He borrowed money, always promising to pay me back Friday. Sometimes he did. More often he didn't. I told myself it didn't matter because he'd do the same for me if I needed it. He had this charm that could make cruelty sound like affection. "You're lucky I put up with you," he'd say, after embarrassing me in front of friends. "Nobody else would." And I'd laugh, because what else was I supposed to do? Things shifted when I got married. My wife never liked him. She said there was something performative in the way he treated me, like he needed me smaller so he could be bigger. I brushed it off. She hadn't seen the years of loyalty, the nights we stayed up talking about dreams, the way he once drove 6 hours to help me move apartments. How could she not see his heart? But then he started flirting with her. At first, it was jokes about how she could do better. Then it was comments about her looks, the kind you pass off as humor but that linger like smoke. I told myself it was harmless. She told me it wasn't. I chose him over her instincts. That's a choice I regret more than most. The betrayal didn't happen in a single dramatic moment. It was slow erosion. One by one, my other friends drifted. Group outings I wasn't invited to. Conversations that ended when I walked in. Eventually, I realized he'd been telling people I was depressed, unstable, unreliable. Seeds he'd planted grew into weeds I couldn't pull out. The knife in the back came at work. We happened to be in the same company, different teams. I applied for a promotion I'd been working toward for years. My boss brought up old mistakes I thought were buried, mistakes only my best friend knew about. I didn't get the promotion. A month later, he did. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. He just smiled like I was a child throwing a tantrum. "Don't be dramatic," he said. "It's just business." That was the moment something in me snapped. I realized the man I'd loved like a brother had been sharpening a knife behind his back the whole time. Every joke, every favor, every bit of loyalty, it had all been currency in a game I didn't even know I was playing. I cut him out that night. Deleted his number. Blocked him on social media. Told mutual friends not to mention his name around me. It felt like amputating a limb. You know it's the only way to stop the infection, but the phantom pain is unbearable. For months, I kept expecting him to show up at my door, grinning, apologizing, saying it was all a misunderstanding. He never did. He didn't need me anymore. He'd taken what he wanted, my trust, my reputation, even my place at work, and moved on. The hardest part isn't losing him. It's losing the version of myself who believed in him. The kid who thought loyalty was unbreakable. The man who thought friendship could be unconditional. That person is gone, and what's left is someone cautious, someone suspicious, someone who measures every laugh for hidden barbs. My wife says I'm better without him, and logically, I know she's right. But logic doesn't erase the ache. Sometimes, late at night, I remember the way we used to sit on the roof of our crappy apartment, passing a cheap bottle of whiskey back and forth, talking about the future like it was ours to take. And for a second, I miss him, not the man he was, but the man I thought he was. That's the cruelest part of betrayal. You don't just lose the person, you lose the story you built around them. You lose the comfort of believing you weren't a fool. And no matter how much time passes, that loss still hums under your skin. I don't know if I'll ever trust anyone the same way again. Maybe that's his final victory. Or maybe, someday, it'll be my way of protecting myself. Right now, all I know is this: the man I called my brother became my worst enemy, and he did it so slowly, so expertly, that by the time I noticed the wound, I was already bleeding out. And the scar? The scar still burns.